We're a week into this project. How are you feeling so far?
Stressed.
You're stressed out?
Well, it's
But it's going good.
Chaos. Yes, everything's on time, everything's doing good things, but like I don't know this process like you do.
So we've had to kind of communicate a fair amount. So one of the tips that we always say is make sure that you're communicating, because not everybody knows the process that happens here. So I know you had a million questions, and it seems like you're starting to calm down because you see the work actually happening. Is that the case?
Yes.
Good. From a layout standpoint, what we're gonna do is we hated the way that this refrigerator would block this opening. You couldn't even get into the room. So if you're standing here, you're completely blocked off. You have to go all the way around. So what we're gonna do is move this refrigerator over to the open area of the room and place it. We've got a refrigerator here and a freezer here. It's in between the island and the nook area, so you can get to it. We do a fair amount of entertaining, as we've said, and we want to make sure that we open up the flow. So that's a big change in our kitchen. So I'm looking forward to that change. That was kind of an idea that we had at the very, very beginning. The number one thing that we have to get done and checked today is we have to get the cabinet order correct. So we're going to be working with Dawson today on the layout and make sure that all the cabinets that we're ordering are going to be correct. They fit as intended, and all the electrical and plumbing is in the right place. So I can't stress this enough. It is the absolute number one thing that has to happen in every kitchen remodel is a field verification.
Today we're going to show you how to check your layout in the field. What's so great about Highland Cabinetry is their cabinets have a fast lead time, so you can do this in this process and get your cabinets quickly. So why this step is so crucial is because once you order your cabinets, it's kind of no going back from there. Anything that has issues, you're going to have to change either the cabinets or the layout of electrical, plumbing. So you want to lay it out on the wall, make sure your electrical lands where you want it to, your lights land where it wants to, your plumbing, and then you also want to make sure your ceiling is tall enough for the cabinets you got. If you get really tall cabinets and you have short ceilings, sometimes it's going to pinch it. And then also your ceilings are usually not level, so you want to make sure you have the space for the cabinets you ordered. We'll start from the right side and kind of work our way over and drawing each cabinet on the wall. We will start with the filler. So this is an 1.5 inch filler, so you just do 1.5 inches, make a mark. The next is a 18 inch. So off of that, the right way to do is to burn an inch, which would make it a 19 right there. So that makes for an 18-inch opening. So then you just write what cabinet it is. This is a B18. And then after that, you have a 9-inch. Another thing you can do is put it at 9 and then just kind of score it with the end of the tape measure. And then it leaves you a nice little line. After that, we have a 40-inch range. So another really important thing to do is make sure you don't squeeze your appliances. So honestly, when I install, I leave a 16th on each side. So that'd be 48 and an 1/8, just because they're gonna be wiggling them in. You don't want it tight. If the cabinets or wall are out of plumb and they're kind of pinching, that can cause issues. So leave a little bit extra space if you can. Usually with the filler, you can kind of move it a little bit, but you do want the lower cabinets to be in line with the upper cabinets. As you can see on the layout, these are gonna be plumb with each other. So if you open this up, you kind of want to open this up, but with the cabinets above, it may make it difficult. So if you can, I always say leave just a little extra, but sometimes it's not always an option. That opening, everything lands where it needs to. You got your gas, all the electrical, and that's not interfering with any of the other cabinets next to it. The uppers are the same since everything is plumb. You don't really need to check your uppers.
So this is the stuff that we want to find. Currently with the drawings that we have is that we're going to come all the way out to here, which is past this wall, which is actually a bust in my opinion. I think we have to finish where the cabinets finish over there to have a line of sight be with the cabinets and not out into this flow of this room whatsoever. So we definitely need to shrink a little bit. So that drops a foot off of our island. And I think that'll help us with the flow as we look at, even in this space, as you and I get into this space and we've got wide shoulders to be able to kind of pass one another. And then if this refrigerator is open, it'll come out and you still have a little bit of a sneak by, so you're not totally locked down. I hate the fact that I'm losing a foot off the island because I really wanted that space, but I would rather have flow than an extra foot worth of cabinetry. So would you agree?
No, I don't understand.
Okay.
Why are you taking that away when all you talked about is an island?
So the island, because this space, the way we had it originally designed, is a little too snug
Okay.
for us big guys to walk through.
Yeah.
Because as we all get together and the family gets together, we all kind of hang out right here, and I want to make sure that we still have good flow. We'll work on the cabinetry to get the optimum use out of the cabinetry, but we don't want to tighten this space too much.
Well, 12 inches sounds like a lot, though, when you're dealing with an island that was supposed to be
8 foot, but an 8-foot island is huge. A 7-foot island is plenty big enough, and we'll maximize it as much as we can. We've got under cabinet storage on the back side of it. We want to look at the consistency of the door sizes so it looks visually nice, but more than likely we're going to have to cut the center cabinet down. So symmetrically, you would have 5 doors, which is actually a nicer look than 6. So the main reason why we're verifying that is to catch items like this. What we normally find is once we put cabinetry in the space, everything tightens up a little bit, and people don't like that feeling of having too tight of lanes. So we just fixed all that so we can get the order correct, move on, make sure that we've worked all the flow issues out, and we've got the right cabinetry, and we don't have to reorder cabinetry.
And also, even with your lead times, if you push your trades out, usually they are booked out weeks. So if you say, hey, it doesn't work this week, they'll be like, well,
You can't come back for 5 weeks.
yeah.
In some cases. So
Exactly.
you want to get this right now so all your trades can keep moving.
Yep.
Okay. A quick pro tip for you when you're actually doing the field verification on the drawings. Use a red pen for one, and then go ahead and mark out the cabinet, and then put a W1530 there in red. Circle it and VIF as you verified that in the field. And then I always put a check mark there that works.
Kevin's gonna be much happier with the changes we've made so he can run around and be a crazy dog in the kitchen, have all the space he needs.
So one of the things we wanted to talk about is when we do the upper cabinets, what are we going to do for the finished trim at the very top? I want something simple. So we're looking to see how level the ceiling is and to see how much, if we went all the way to the ceiling, how much we need to scribe. Or we can actually do just lay down a filler and have kind of a flat kind of shaker looking finish for the upper trim. So let's go ahead and measure off of the line at multiple points to see how our ceiling is going. Because the floor and the ceilings typically aren't perfectly parallel.
Yeah.
You'll have a little bit of out of level. So we're using the laser to help us check that today.
So right there, we're at about 56 3/4. So right there, we're at 56 5/8. So we've already lost an 1/8.
So we're measuring kind of 12 inches out from the wall roughly
Yeah.
where the crown's going to hit the ceiling.
We just lost another 1/4.
So it looks like we're kind of going downhill.
So we've lost a total of 3/4 of an inch. And then we're going back up.
So 3/4 of an inch over, what is this, probably 14 feet or so? And it's dipping in the middle. So if we were going to actually use a crown molding, we'd have to scribe it into the reveal of the crown molding, and that would look ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right? And then we don't have the ability to kind of shrink it and build a crown stack. I didn't want a 3-piece or a 2-piece crown stack, so it's likely we're just going to go ahead and lay down a board and finish it out, hold it from the ceiling just a little bit. Okay, I think that'll be an overall better look. We'll talk to Megan and see if that's what she wants to do. All in all, we've spent about an hour and a half in here verifying everything. Again, crucial step. We want to make sure that this happens. We've changed not only the island, we've changed this elevation. We've made some minor adjustments in total. We've changed our trim design to make sure that that's going to look good in the end, and pretty productive hour and a half. So we'll get the cabinet order correct, and then you've got a pretty good idea on how to attack this and what you're going to be dealing with overall. So a good time spent from an installer standpoint, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.